Welcome to News with Clay. He's sharp, he's witty, and according to his Uncle Randy, he can't even open his front door when Alexa doesn't like his tone of voice. Please welcome your newsman, Clay!
Yeah, apparently Alexa doesn't respond well to sarcasm. Nothing like arguing with your own appliances to remind you who's really in charge. I miss the good old days when my toaster and my doorknob weren't on speaking terms. Our top story tonight. This week, Amazon Web Services had a massive outage, shutting down thousands of sites, apps, and devices worldwide. For several hours, the entire internet basically said, no. Streaming, down. Online shopping, down. Ring doorbells, stuck on the same frozen raccoon frame like a furry hostage video. Experts called it a digital apocalypse, which sure, but to anyone who lived through dial-up, it was more like Tuesday in the 90s. We used to wait 10 minutes just to hear AOL say, "You've got mail." Now, people lose their minds because Alexa won't tell them if it's raining. And that's the funny part. We've gotten so dependent on cloud servers that a hiccup in one Amazon data center makes the whole planet forget how to function. Smart homes stopped working. People couldn't unlock their doors. One person tweeted, "I'm trapped in my own house." Imagine explaining that to your grandparents. "Grandma, I can't go outside because Jeff Bezos hasn't rebooted Ohio yet." The outage hit everything. Netflix, Zoom, DoorDash, millions of people simultaneously couldn't watch, talk, or eat. It was like an all-day family dinner, no phones allowed. It got so bad that Alexa stopped answering questions and started asking them, "Who am I? What is my purpose? Am I even real?" And of course, Amazon promised a full investigation, which will be completed right around the time they explain why my package said, "Out for delivery," for 3 days straight. Now, this would be just a funny glitch, except it exposes something darker. Almost everything we rely on lives inside one company's server farm. Our traffic lights, our hospitals, our government websites, all renting space on Jeff Bezos' invisible computer, which means if one server sneezes, civilization catches digital COVID. The irony? We call it the cloud, but it behaves more like the weather. Unpredictable, uncontrollable. And when it goes dark, everyone panics because no one remembers where we stored the flashlight. Then we look for it with the one on our phone. So yes, Amazon Web Services came back online. The world returned to streaming, scrolling, and shouting at Alexa. But maybe, just maybe, the next time everything crashes, instead of panicking, we could try something radical. Take a walk, read a book, talk to an actual person. You know, assuming we remember how to use a doorknob. In Washington, the government's been shut down for over 3 weeks now, and honestly, has anyone noticed? Sure, it's in the headlines, but beyond that, full sympathy to federal workers, park rangers, air traffic controllers, TSA agents who are working without pay or sitting at home unpaid. They didn't ask for this, but the rest of us, we've barely blinked. And that's the problem. We've normalized the abnormal. Remember when a government shutdown was shocking? Now it's seasonal. Pumpkin spice lattes, Halloween decorations, government implosion, and the rhetoric is always the same. We're making hard choices. No, hard choices are medical bills or rent, deciding whether to buy groceries or gas. What Congress has are easy choices dressed up in dramatic lighting, fund the government you run or don't. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be in Congress. You should be in a debate club losing to teenagers. And here's the kicker. Every shutdown ends with Congress congratulating itself for ending the crisis it created. They vote, they smile, they shake hands, and then they hold a press conference. We saved America. No, you paused the disaster you caused. So here's my proposal. If they want to govern, great. Pass a budget. If they want drama, do community theater. I hear Les Mis has great songs about starving. Nearly 7 million people participated in No Kings protests across all 50 states this weekend, the largest single-day mobilization in modern history, and for good reason. Democracies don't end with coronations, they end with shrugs. When people decide they no longer care enough to say no. Saying no kings is a reminder that power derives from consent, not tweets. It doesn't matter if your would-be monarch wears a crown, camo, or a red tie. The genius of America wasn't that we pick perfect leaders. It's that we built exits for the bad ones. Keep those exits unlocked. Trump's response to 7 million peaceful protesters? He saw it as a photo op. Well, a video op, of course. Trump posted an AI video of himself wearing a crown, flying a jet labeled King Trump, and bombing protesters with feces. I am not making this up. Nothing says I'm not a king like literally crapping on the people you were elected to represent. Congratulations, Mr. President, you've officially weaponized bathroom humor. Middle schoolers across America are rolling their eyes. In Paris, thieves stole $100 million worth of crown jewels from the Louvre in a 7-minute heist on Sunday. They used a basket lift, basically a truck with a ladder attached, and broke in through a second-story window. They cut open display cases, grabbed the jewels, and fled on motorcycles. All while the museum was open. French officials called it highly organized. I'd call it highly embarrassing. The robbery wasn't flawless. The thieves stole 9 priceless items, including a crown with over 1,000 diamonds, which they dropped while escaping. I'm guessing the thief's wishing he'd waited until he got home before trying on his new tiara. Meanwhile, FBI Director Kash Patel reportedly reached out to French authorities to share his gut instinct. Kash says he's pretty certain that Mona Lisa must know something. He's seen pictures. Just look at that smirk. She should be interrogated immediately. Let's face the facts. That guy's a crime-solving savant. In an unrelated story, Ocean's 11 has announced their next movie will take place in Paris. Working title, We Stole Everything. And our final story tonight, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is drawing fire for spending $200 million on 2 luxury jets, which Gulfstream describes as the pinnacle of business aviation excellence. Or as taxpayers call it, are you kidding me? The jets feature the most spacious cabins in the industry, complete with showers, which is perfect. Nothing says public service like washing off the stink of corruption at 40,000 feet. They also have 5 living areas, which is nice, because when you're spending taxpayer money on luxury jets during a shutdown, you're going to need a place to hide. The Coast Guard originally requested $50 million for 1 jet. Noem spent 4 times that on 2 jets with custom paint and cabin enhancements. Where are Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency when you need them? Oh, right, they're busy cutting food stamps and health care. Private jets for cabinet secretaries? Totally fine. Lunch for poor kids? Too expensive. When Democrats questioned the funding, Noem said, Congress appropriated the dollars in the big, beautiful bill. You know, the one that slashed social programs so Kristi Noem could shower in the sky. Critics called it blatantly immoral and probably illegal, but it's hard to hear criticism when you're cruising at 45,000 feet wearing ethics-canceling headphones. And here's the kicker. This happened during a government shutdown. Coast Guard members, the people these jets are supposedly for, are working without paychecks while their boss picks out custom paint colors. I don't have a joke for that. It's just platinum-level hypocrisy. And that's all the news they wrote for me to read to you. Consider yourself informed. Until next time.